Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Cam Jennings coming at you on behalf of EpicConversions.com. I want to welcome you to another episode of The Mighty Few. This is episode 7 for those of you keeping score, and today we're going to be talking all about email marketing. Last episode, episode 6, we talked about list building, so of course, this episode we're going to talk about email marketing. You see what I did there? I put them together. Can you believe it? Two sides of the same coin, if you ask me. Email marketing and list building. Two sides of the same coin, the same discipline. You really need to learn them both. So what do I want to say about email marketing? I tend to hang out in some email marketing subreddits on Reddit. I like Reddit. I know some people say, "Oh, I hate Reddit. I hate Reddit." I actually like Reddit because Reddit is a place where I feel like you get a breath of honesty. You get this breath of fresh air of people just being really, really honest with each other, brutally honest with each other, but honest with each other. So I do like Reddit, and when it comes to email marketing on Reddit, there's a lot of people that really do treat email marketing like a math problem. They really do. They really treat it like a math problem. I need this much click through rate, this much open rate. It's tracking this, tracking that, conversion rate to optimize campaigns. What software do you use? What's the best? Blah 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 blah. It's all like a math problem. It's like it's very I don't know. It's not my cup of tea when it comes to email marketing. That's not that is not the reason I love email marketing so much. Put it that way. I don't think that email marketing is a math problem. Now, I think this is probably a controversial opinion. I'm not saying you shouldn't track things. I'm not saying you shouldn't keep track of open rates and conversion rates and click through rates and stuff. I'm not saying that. Um, it's just that, like, I know me personally, I don't like track those. I don't even track them as much as I used to. The point that I'm telling you is I'm not sure how much I trust all those numbers to begin with. And when I think about why is email marketing so effective for me, I guess like my gut tells me it's not like the numbers. It's not about the numbers. Okay, here's what I think matters when it comes to email marketing. Okay, the first thing, like I told you, it's two sides of the same coin. Okay, so your list building matters when it comes to your email marketing. That means you're trying to put the right people on your list. Okay, I'm not just gonna like put every single lead on my list that I can. All right, I'm putting certain kinds of people on there. Like, and I talked about that, the kind of people, the leads that we keep. I did a whole episode on this, the leads that we keep in the last episode. You can check that out. But the email marketing starts with the people who end up on your list. That's my view on it. It starts with the people who end up on your list. Okay. And so, it's not that you don't want as many of them as possible. It's just that, like, I don't just want everybody. I want certain kinds of people on my list. Um, so that's where it starts, the leads that we keep. And then it moves on, once they're on my list, it moves on into my opinion, um, how I engage with that list, how I engage with those people. Um, in my opinion, first rule of marketing, it's never about me, it's always about them. Now, it doesn't matter how much I talk about me, because I talk about myself a lot. I'll talk about myself, and I'll talk about weird stuff in my emails. I'll go off on weird tangents about all kinds of stuff. But it always circles back around to them. There's always something in it for them. There's always a lesson in it for them. There's always a takeaway. There's always something that's going to matter to them, some kind of value for them. So it's never about me. It's always about them with the email copy. The email copy is the driving force of the email marketing, in my opinion. When I think about how I've made a lot of money with email marketing, how that came to pass, like how did I convert all those people? I think it's the email copy, and that's my opinion. It's not a math problem. It's a writing problem. Like, can you write? Can you write in a way that creates impact? Because if you can, then people are going to be signing up for your email, they're going to be signing up to be on your list. They're going to be waiting to see what you have to say, responding back to you. It's going to be that kind of a situation. The people will stay on your list for years just to see what you have to say next, and that's really who you want on your list. People feel like they can just cut and paste emails. They can just, go have ChatGPT write them a series of emails, and it's fine. It's totally cool. Not a big deal. And I don't believe that personally. Personally, I believe that the email copy is very important. I believe it's important enough to where, like, if you don't get it right, you're going to be losing like a ton of money. That's what I believe. I mean, the last time I checked, people buy things, not, bots, not AI. Actual people buy things. And, last I checked, generally they buy those things based off of emotion. They justify those purchases with logic, but the initial decision to make the purchase is usually made on the back of some kind of emotion that you've triggered. Okay, so this is, impact writing, right? This is the kind of writing that you do that is going to create some kind of impact with people. It's going to trigger some kind of emotion. It's going to get them interested in buying your thing, right? You're going to get them mad. You're going to get them excited. You're going to get them, joyful. You're going to get them curious, right? A lot of different emotions we could go through when it comes to, what will impact somebody and trigger them to buy something. But at the end of the day, what I'm trying to tell you is I don't really believe it's a math equation. I know a lot of people do. I read what people say. They are really, really caught up in the tools. They are really, really, really caught up in, ones and zeros and X's and O's and equations, right? And I just personally do not see email marketing that way. Maybe some people say I'm stupid. Maybe some people say I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm too old school. I'm a dinosaur. Whatever. I don't know. All I know is I've been doing email marketing since 2011, 2012, around there. And I make money. I make money at it. I make good money doing email marketing. So if I'm stupid, it's the right kind of stupid. And what I'm telling you is that I just don't believe it's a numbers game with email marketing. Um, you know, I can have 500 people on my email list, and yeah, I don't think that's enough people. But if they're the right 500 people, I can make really good money with them. Um, I can have 5,000 people on my email list, and maybe I'm not making hardly anything with them. I knew a cat who had 100,000 people on his email list. He couldn't get it to do anything. Cam, I can't get it to do anything for me. I can't get it to do anything for me. No, these leads must not be any good. I can't get them to convert. I can't get them to convert. I said, well, show me what you're sending them. Like, what do you got going on? And he had a lot of problems with the emails that he was sending out to his list. And when it comes to how he acquired those leads, that was another problem. Doesn't mean that you can't turn that around. You could have a list of 100,000 people, and you can do really, really good email marketing. And by that I mean write really good emails, really good subject lines, and do things in certain ways strategically to pull some of those people around. However, I mean, look, if you got a list of 100,000 people and nobody's opening your emails, I mean, that's not an asset anymore. That's a liability. That's how I look at it. So, I mean, I'd rather have a list of 1,000 people who regularly open my emails and buy things off of me than a list of 100,000 people and no one's looking at anything. Like, I don't even know who these people are. They're not doing anything. So, yeah, I mean, again, in my view, it's not a numbers game. I mean, a little bit. I guess you could say there's a small numbers game going on where I'd like to have more people on my list than less people because more people equals more money. I mean, let's be real. But they got to be the right kind of people, okay? They got to be the right kind of people, or you got to have the skill to turn them into the right kind of people. Well, how do you do that? You do that with good email copy. You do that with strategic email copy because that's the other part of the equation. You can write emails in a way to where this like strategically builds people up, right? It builds people up, it hypes them up, it gets them interested in what you have going on. You can use email strategically in a way that will pull people in even more, right? Like I've had people on my list for years, okay? So I know what I'm talking about when it comes to this email copy stuff. I know people look at me and they say, "Look at this hillbilly, man. Look at this hillbilly. He don't know what he's talking about." I don't really care. I really just don't. I don't care. I know people hear my accent. They look at how I dress. They listen to how I talk, and they say, "Man, look at this hillbilly. What's he even know about it, man? This guy's an idiot. He doesn't know what he's talking about." And the thing, all I say to that is, you know, people are gonna say what they want to say. People are gonna talk. Everybody's got an opinion. You know what I mean? Um, I just keep on making money. I don't really care. I'll tell you what, email marketing paid for this house I live in. I'll tell you that. And email marketing paid for the vehicle I drive, and it's supports my whole family. So yeah, whatever people want to say about people, that's the whole thing. Everyone's got an opinion. Everyone wants to say something. And I've never been like in love with like flaunting, a bunch of money and all that stuff. Anyways, so I don't know. I kind of just feel like people are like pulled in easily, by shiny objects. They're pulled in easily by shiny people. Um, I think that like kind of taking this like look at me approach, where like you're driving a really fancy car, you're living in a really nice house, and you happen to just by chance be shooting videos in these nice places. Like it's kind of a look at me approach, and it's designed to get someone to believe that you are very, very, you're doing very well, better than them, right? It's designed to trigger. It's kind of what I was telling you about email. It's designed to trigger emotion. It's designed to create impact. It's done to create impact, and that's one way to go about it. Um, like me, I just feel like I want to attract a certain kind of person, and that kind of person is not as interested in that look at me approach. You know what I mean? So I tell you what, skill is skill. You know what I mean? Skill is skill, and look at me is look at me. So it's two different things. You could have someone who who understands this look at me tactic and goes out of their way to make it happen, and then you have someone who is skilled at what they do and they've been doing it for a really long time. You want to know if someone's for real? Look at how long they've been doing what they've been doing. Now me, my track record is very obvious. I mean, you can type in Cam Jennings on Google, and you'll find interviews and all these things that I've done over the years. You can type in Cam Jennings on ChatGPT, and ChatGPT will know who I am. Um, Probably, I would imagine. And that's not because I'm some kind of famous person whatsoever at all. It's just because I've been doing what I do for a long time, and I happen to be on the internet doing it. So that's why. So I think consistency is one way you can really tell if someone's about something for real. And then the second thing is action. Like how much action are they taking? If you see someone who has been very consistent for a very long period of time, and you see them continuing to take action with things, then you have someone who's starting who should to you that should be like indicators that like, okay, this person is for real. They've been around for a really long time. They've continually taken action on what they're doing, and these are indications that someone knows what they're doing and they're about something real. And speaking of action, action is we talked about a few minutes ago about we talked about look at me. We talked about like the look at me thing. Like this is a way to like pull people around you. Look at me. Look at my cool house. Look at my cool car. This is a look at me kind of like show me kind of way to like trigger emotion and create impact. Another way to trigger emotion and create impact is with action taking. And then you convey that action taking, like in your free content. Like when you put free content out there, like you talk about action that you're taking, you talk about things that you're doing, right? By doing this, you pull people around you. People are attracted to action, okay? Remember that. Most people aren't taking any action. Most people are lounging around, being really distracted by the internet. The thing is, the internet is a two-way system, all right? It's like a two-lane highway, the internet. And here's what I mean by that. The internet is a system of consumption and it's a system of production, right? So you can get on the internet and you can produce or you can consume, right? This is two things you can do: consume or produce, consume or produce. And what I'm telling you is, it's an amazing like system for both of those things, right? The internet makes it very easy for you to consume a lot of content, but it also facilitates you to produce a lot of content if you know what you're doing, if you handle your time efficiently. So I think that like, what you want to do is you want to try to produce as much as you can. And, there's nothing wrong with consuming some, you're consuming this video right now. But as you're consuming this video, think about it. Like I made this video, like I produced something. You didn't, you consumed something. And there's nothing wrong with some consumption. We use consumption to learn. We use consumption for entertainment. So there's nothing wrong with some consumption. But what I'm saying is, if you're not careful, the balance is upset. And all of a sudden you're consuming way, way too much. You're not taking enough action and you feel like you're doing something. Like if you're watching a video like this one that kind of focuses on email marketing or whatever, it feels like you're doing something. You're doing something productive for your business, but really you're not. You're just consuming. Right? So there's a difference between consumption and production. And what I'm saying is you really have to be very conscious of the difference, especially in how you handle your affairs related to your online business. But I think I am getting a little bit off track here. Let me just circle this back around to email marketing. What I'm trying to say is, in my mind, email marketing is about the leads you put on your list and how well you do your email marketing, how well you do your email copy, right? There's some strategy to email copy, and I can get into that another day. But that's what it's about. It's not really about all the numbers, in my opinion. It's really not. I pay attention to the numbers minimally. I really do. I don't like. I just don't focus on the numbers too much. I've heard certain people say that a lot of these metrics in email marketing are soft metrics at best. And yeah, I don't know. I'd put it this way. I used to pay a lot more attention to open rates. I used to pay a lot more attention to click-through rates than I do now. Now, the only metric I really pay attention to is sales. Sales is the hard metric. If you're not getting sales, then none of the other crap matters. And that's the bottom line as far as I'm concerned. When it comes to email marketing, I love email marketing. But the reason I love it is for two reasons. One, it makes me a lot of money. Two, I like to write. And writing is writing is the driver with email marketing. That is the thing that creates the impact, and the impact is the thing that gets people to buy things. So that's why I have this love affair with email marketing. I don't have a love affair with email marketing because of the numbers. Okay. The numbers don't push the needle, okay? I'm telling you right now, that's my take on it. I'm telling you, you go search on some of these subreddits that are based in email marketing, you're going to get a whole different story. I don't really care. I think that's a bunch of nonsense. I'm telling you, man, I literally saw somebody in one of those subreddits saying that, like, you shouldn't be upset that your email is in spam, okay? What? You shouldn't be upset that your email is going to spam, because if you're sending a promotion, then it belongs in the promotions tab. That's where it's going where it's supposed to go. No true email marketer in the history of email marketing would ever say that, okay? I'm telling you, there are some jokers in some of these subreddits that don't know what they're talking about. They literally are just talking. Like, I'm telling you, anybody in the trenches doing email marketing would never say that. Nobody wants their like email to go to the promotions tab. They don't want it. I mean, if it ends up there, all right, you can work around it. But you don't want it to be there. I mean, think about it. You know how many people check their inbox that never even go to the promotions tab? They don't even realize they have a promotions tab, let alone go there to check it. I mean, it's ridiculous. Okay, so anyways, there's a lot of people saying a lot of things. A lot of it doesn't make any sense. Anyone who has experience doing this understands like what's working and what's not working. Anyone who doesn't have experience doing this, who's just like reading books and reading articles from other people, it's like the blind leading the blind or something. You know what I mean? Some of this stuff is ridiculous, or they're just saying it just for like they just want to be contrarian, non-consensus. They just want to be non-consensus. They want to be contrarian. They don't actually feel that way or even know what they're talking about. They're just whatever. And yeah, I just gotta laugh at stuff like that. But either way, regardless, I just want to talk about email marketing this today. I feel like this episode's getting too long, and I'm just kind of rambling on. So let me shut up now. I should probably start taking a couple of bullet points before I do these episodes, so I don't just like ramble on about all kinds of stuff. Anyways, hope you're doing amazing out there. Thanks so much for tuning in. If any of this stuff I talk about resonates with you, you can jump on my email list. I'm at epicconversions.com. You can reach out to me with any questions you have for me. I'm at camjenningspro@gmail.com. Just keep in mind, I do not coach people through email for free. So don't email me a bunch of questions about your business thinking I'm just gonna take you on as some kind of like free like client through email or something. I don't do that, man. Nobody out there works for free, I assume. Well, I don't work for free either, so stop emailing me a bunch of questions about your business thinking that I'm just gonna free coach you through getting your business running. Okay, I don't play that stuff. I don't have time to free coach you through email. So if you want to reach out to me and ask me about consulting, that's cool. Maybe like one question or something about something I talked about in this episode, that's totally cool. But don't come at me and start asking me all these questions and scenarios about your business and how hey, here's the problem I'm having, blah 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 blah. What should I do? Don't do that to me, man. Come on, give me a break. Unless you're a client, okay, don't do it. Just because you saw an episode of this, which hey, thank you for watching. But please respect my time. Don't think that I am interested in consulting with you on your personal scenarios for your business if you're not a client of mine. Okay, don't think that. Okay, just ask me about consulting if you're interested in consulting. But if you just have a question about something I talked about in this episode, feel free to email me and ask me about it. No problem. Hope that makes sense. That's all I got. Have an awesome day. I'll see you guys in the next episode of The Mighty Few.